Warning, despite the subject matter at the focus of these videos, my reviews are not intended for viewers under the age of 13, so if you're not of age, turn off the video now. Are they gone? Great, let's get to the intro already. I am flying high, ladies and gentlemen. I love it when I watch this show and I get super excited about a character, especially a 6th Ranger, or in this case a 5th. Since I've started reviewing Power Rangers, there's been only one 6th Ranger that I haven't loved, and that was unfortunately Leave Aiden from Ninja Steel. But just because I loved the introduction of a 6th Ranger, that doesn't mean the show will give the character a satisfying arc or side plot, like with Orion or Sir Ivan. No, I'm not counting the debacle that was Robo Knight's last appearance, because as far as I'm concerned, his arc ended with Rock is back. We'll miss you, buddy. However, the good thing about Steel's introductory episode is that Beast Morphers already planted the seeds for the many different directions they can go with the Silver Ranger, so I'm about as confident as he is that the show will be able to make Steel shine. My excitement hasn't gone down from the last episode, so let's go ahead and dive right in as we look at Power Rangers Beast Morphers Episode 9, Silver Sacrifice. Wait. What? The episode opens with Nate looking at blueprints for the new gold and silver Zords before he sees Steel headed to the battle sim. Steel asks Nate if he wants to help him beat every simulation program, but Nate was about to give Steel a maintenance overhaul. Steel declines the overhaul because he doesn't think it's necessary, before asking why Nate cares so much about his maintenance. Nate says they need to look out for each other because they're brothers, adding that you can't replace family.
Oh, come on! We may share the same DNA, but if you lose me, you can just build a new me.
No, Steel. Even I couldn't do that. You're very complicated.
I think that was a confirmation that I was right about Steel's personality. I love it when my speculation pays off. Steel says Nate needs to exercise and suggests the two climb Mount Everest, but Nate says a simple jog will do for now. Steel says they'll have a lot of time to do other things because they'll be bros forever, and already these two are acting more like brothers than Brody and Leave Aiden ever did. Cut to the Cybergate warehouse, where Scruzzle argues with the evil avatars in a way that conveniently exposits how the villains plan to capture the Silver Ranger for Evox. Remember, there were months between the air date of this episode and the last one, so exposition is kinda warranted. Anyway, in order to find Steel, Roxy and Blaze make a Robotron out of an old TV antenna so they can track Grid Battle Force communications to the Silver Ranger. Speaking of, the Silver Ranger finishes his jog with Nate, so the two decide to check out their Zords. While in the hangar, General Berg comes in to meet the new Rangers, so Steel shows off his Morpher's blasting ability before saying that their new Wrecker and Jet Zords can teleport into battle. Nate tells Berg that all they need is his authorization to start fueling the Zords with Morph-X, but Berg says Nate needs to fill out paperwork first as per protocol. Sudsed Up Ben and Betty offer to fill out the paperwork for Nate before he's contacted by the other Rangers, who ask if Nate and Steel want to hang out at the Riptide Gym. Little do the Rangers know that Roxy and Blaze eavesdropped on their conversation and attack the team before they enter the gym. The Dastardly duo make their intentions known, but when the Rangers stand their ground, Tronics are called as reinforcements. During the fight, Blaze and Roxy are shot down, allowing the Rangers to retreat, and when they get back to GB, they explain the situation to General Berg. Since the villains plan to use Steel's body to get Evox out of the cyber dimension, Berg orders that the bot be shut down and locked away in storage. The Rangers hate this idea because Steel is more than a robot, but Berg can't see the robot as anything more than a tool. Jesus, didn't we do this 2 episodes ago? Ben and Betty leave to talk to their father, while Shaw apologizes to Steel, and the robot says his goodbye to Nate, saying he's been a good brother. The Rangers, however, tell Steel that no one's shutting him down, with Ravi even saying that on any other day he'd obey a direct order? Come the fuck on, are we seriously doing this right now? Still, the Rangers have a good plan. They figure if they destroy the Cybergate, Evox won't need Steel's body to leave the Cyberverse. The team sneaks Steel out of the base so he won't be shut down, and sometime later, Berg is roaming the base looking for the Rangers. Berg runs into his kids, who try to deliver the completed paperwork, but they set it too close to a cadet shredding documents, resulting in the pink pages being chopped to pieces. Okay. Berg calls in a red alert and orders the Rangers to be found, but it turns out Blaze and Roxy are listening just as the Rangers' location is given to Berg. Luckily for the villains, the Rangers are just outside the warehouse, but before they can go in, guns blazing, Berg arrives to collect Steel. While Berg and the Rangers argue, Ben and Betty just kinda wander off, only to return to our heroes as captives of Blaze and Roxy. The Avatars offered to trade Ben and Betty for Steel, but Berg can't decide what to do, so Steel accepts the trade, telling Nate that he's shown him the true meaning of family or something, and adding that he knows the Rangers can destroy Evox even in his body. Nate's in tears as Steel's taken by Blaze and Roxy, and the ordeal helps Berg realize something.
I was so wrong. I didn't see it until now, but you and Steel really are family. I'm sorry, Nate.
Oh good, he figured it out. Who could have seen that coming? Yay. The Rangers morph into action to rescue Steel, but they don't make it into the warehouse in time to stop Evox from downloading into the bot. Fortunately, Steel's able to reject the Evox virus because he's half human, and after Nate explains that to Evox, Steel springs into action and destroys the Cybergate. The generals call on Tronics and Antennatron before making their escape, so the fight is on as the Rangers deal with these threats. As soon as the generals get back to the Cyberverse, Skruzzle deploys a Gigadrone, so Devin meets the thing in his Racerzord. However, when the Gigadrone calls in reinforcements, Berg fuels up the Wrecker and Jet Zords so they can be teleported into battle. The new Zords quickly drain the Gigatronics of their Morph-X, and after Ravi and Zoe take down Antennatron, Devin delivers a finishing blow to the Gigadrone. After the fight, the Rangers collect and store away all the pieces of the Cybergate so Skruzzle won't be able to rebuild it, and Berg apologizes for how he treated Steel earlier. The General then officially welcomes the new Rangers, saying they'll always lend a hand, and the episode ends with Steel giving his hand to Berg, causing everyone to burst out laughing. This episode is majorly disappointing. To be clear, I don't mean this episode is disappointing in the way that I usually do when talking about Beast Morphers episodes, where the episode is decent, but not up to par with the show's other episodes. No, this is a bad episode, and it's disappointing because it followed one of my favorite episodes this season. I honestly can't believe we get another episode talking about how robots are people too, after we just had an episode about that before the hiatus. As I said in my first rant on the subject, Power Rangers has been overusing this theme for quite some time now, and even though we have yet another Robot Ranger, that doesn't mean the show needs to beat this dead horse any more than they already have. To be fair, I probably wouldn't be as hard on this point if I'd seen this episode months after episode 7, but it still annoys me that Beast Morphers reused this theme so soon. Speaking of things that are done way too quickly, I also take issue with Steel already sacrificing himself to Evox and the Rangers ultimately destroying the Cybergate. I mean, the way the villains talked about their plan in the last episode, it sounded like this was going to be the kind of plot that would continue until the end of the season. Like how in MMPR, it took episodes for Lord Zed to drain Tommy's power so the Rangers would be down a man. But no, in Beast Morphers, it takes just one episode before the Rangers destroy the Cybergate and we discover that Evox can't take over Steel's body anyway. But the worst part is, the Rangers treat this like it's the Tommy Oliver situation, as if between episodes they've been having all these adventures with Steel that we didn't get to see. I mean, seriously? Ravi's not going to be the by-the-book Blue Ranger because of this robot he just met? We haven't even gotten a proper morph sequence with Steel yet, but the show still wants me to empathize with this big sacrifice he's making. In fact, the only reason Steel sacrificed himself is because Ben and Betty were stupid enough to get themselves captured. I've talked a little about how Ben and Betty are a refreshing comic duo because despite their bumbling nature, they still have a reason to be on the show and even help the Rangers at times. But man, were they not good in this episode. Not only do they wander into a dangerous situation and get captured, but this paper shredder joke was a rare miss for me. Not only is it predictable, but the scene doesn't make a whole lot of sense. This cadet is shredding documents, but decides to shred these Zord documents because they're nearby. They're not even the same color as the other papers she's shredding, so I don't know what her logic is there. And as long as we're in the territory of things that don't matter, but nonetheless bothered me, why is Nate's animal spirit a mantis when his Zord looks more like a hunter beetle? It's not like Power Rangers has been against Beetle Brothers before, so what was the purpose of this change? Did someone make a mistake in the translation? Or did you guys genuinely want to go a different direction? Because if it's the latter, I gotta say, Beetle Bros has a nice ring to it. Overall, this is the first episode this season that I would call bad. Honestly, if the show had just waited a few episodes to put Steel in this situation, I would have been more lenient here, because at the very least, the season pacing wouldn't have taken such a hard hit. But that still wouldn't have accounted for the overuse overused moral, and the complete mishandling of the comic relief. It's sad because I never expected Beast Morphers to take a nosedive like this, and I'm sorry to say you can skip this one. I'm Nick, aka IronBat1993, and may the power protect you.